فقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم في صحيح البخاري كان الله ولم يكن شيء غيره. The Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم told us in the hadith in Sahih al-Bukhari that there was a time when there was Allah and there was nothing else except Allah. There was a time there were no samawat, no ard, no qalam, no arsh, no creation, no prophet, nobody. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is very important for us to understand because some of the misguided sects, some of the people of Batil, they said in a false narration, in a hadith that is mawdu', in a false narration, and I'm warning against this. This is not a hadith. They said that there was Allah and Allah saw a nur. Na'udhu billah. He saw a nur and he didn't know what this nur was. Na'udhu billah. And he asked this nur, what are you? And this nur said, I am Nur Muhammad. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala liked this nur so much that He made the creation from this nur. Now, all of us are sitting here, saying, A'udhu billah. We'll have questions after this. But this is the belief of many Muslims. These are speakers that come on television channels, people who write books and quote these things. A brother in San Diego got into an argument with me about this. And I had to prove to him that this is a mawdu' fabrication. But here in this hadith al-Bukhari, it is a rad on these things from the beginning. That there was a time when there was nothing but Allah. And then in the another narration, also from Sahih Bukhari, كان الله ولم يكن شيء قبله وكان عرشه على الماء. Here in this hadith, it mentions that the first thing, there was Allah and there was nothing before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, no beginning, no end. And then the first thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created was the arsh and the water that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala placed the arsh upon. And the arsh of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at that time was on water. And we don't mean water like the lake that you go out to and the rivers. This is something that all of the creation later was created from. Everything that came from this water. And how exactly is it? This is only known to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. ثُمَّ خَلَقَ في صحيح البخاري ثُمَّ خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. And then after that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the samawat wal-ard. And before the creation of samawat wal-ard, there is the qalam. But before that, Ibn Taymiyyah, Taqiyuddin, Al-Rribat, Ahmad Ibn Taymiyyah, rahmatullah alayhi, said, the first thing created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the things that we know of. It's very important. Don't think we know everything. We can only derive from what we know. Ibn Taymiyyah said, from what we know of is the arsh and the water that it was established upon. This is the first thing. Then, as in the hadith in Sahih Muslim, the Prophet ﷺ told us that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, after placing His arsh on water, He created the qalam and the luh al-mahfuz and the preserved tablet, which in some hadith is also called a dhikr. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered the qalam to write on the luh al-mahfuz, on the preserved tablet, everything that will happen 50,000 years before the creation of the samawat wal-ard. We're not even talking about the creation of Adam alayhi salam or mankind. We're taking it way back. So think about this. Think about that rizq that you go into haram for. Think about those fears that you set out your religion for. And then know that everything has been written down 50,000 years, not before your creation, but before even the creation of the samawati wal ard. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He had everything written down. And the Quran was never created. The Quran are the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, uncreated. But the Quran was written down by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala before the creation of the samawati wal ard, in the Lawh al-Mahfuz. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He placed His arsh upon the samawati wal ard, above the samawati wal ard. all of this creation is beneath Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is above the arsh. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created samawat wal ard in 6 days, and the tashriq of this would take a long time. Inshallah, in our aqidah we will do it. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, before creating mankind, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the malaika and jinn. Before insan, there was malaika and jinn. And there are many dalail for this. Then, all of this creation that was created so far was done with the hukam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Could be, and it was. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then honored Ibn Adam, the mankind, by ordering the malaika to go and collect different types of earth, of dust, of mud from around the earth. Different colors, different textures, different flavors, all of this from around the earth. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gathered those, and with His own hand, subhanahu wa ta'ala, created Adam alayhi salam. Adam alayhi salam was created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with His own hand, in a way that befits the manner and majesty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We don't say like somebody would create. Now, we never make tashbih of the Khaliq with Makhluq. But this is what we know from the Quran, from the authentic ahadith, and this is what we believe. Adam alayhi salam was never a child. He never grew up. He was never an embryo. He was created in his form, as we know from the Quran and many authentic ahadith, as a full-grown man. And I want to make clear here that the idea that humans came from apes is something totally contradictory from the Islamic belief. It is something contradicted by science itself. It is contradictory to intelligence itself. But more importantly, it is contradictory to the Quran and the Sunnah. Insan didn't come from a monkey, didn't come from an ape, didn't come from a Neanderthal. Insan was created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as he is. There is adaptation of species to their environment, no doubt. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made everything in miqdar, in its proper balance. So if a creation needs to have a long neck to reach its food, Allah will give it that ability to stretch the neck and reach its food. Who does that? No animal itself thinks, let me grow my beak in a few seconds. No! Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lets that happen over time for everything to have its miqdar, to be in its place, in its balance. But to say that humans came from monkeys, it is not proven, it is not a fact, it is a theory and a debunked theory at that. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created Adam alayhi salam, there are two very significant events that happened, and I want to mention them because they have to do with the seerah. One, a shaitan, he saw this creation. As I said, the jinn was already created. And according to many of the ulama, including Ibn al-Qayyim and Ibn Taymiyyah and others, the shayateen that we have, the jinn, are actually the awlad, the offspring of Iblis, of shaitan. As insan, all of the mankind are the offspring of Adam, alayhi salam. So you have here two of the beginning of two major species or races. One, which is Iblis, the father of the jinn, and then there is Adam alayhi salam, the father of mankind. From the jinn are Muslim and Kafir, and from the mankind will be Muslim and Kafir. But the difference is that Adam alayhi salam was pious, was a prophet, and Iblis is al-mardud. He is the one that is rejected. So Iblis, shaitan, when he saw this hollow creation, the ruh was not put into Adam alayhi salam at this time. When Iblis, he saw this hollow creation, he said, this is a strange creation. It has so many holes. As we know, average human, if you haven't been shot or something, has about 9 holes. You can figure them out later, child. So seeing these holes, Iblis, in the Sahih Hadith, he said that if Allah allows me to be a temptation for this creation, it will be very easy to misguide. He's full of holes. So here, at this time, even before before the issue of the sajda, even before the issue of Adam alayhi salam having the ruh in him, at this time, hasad began. And the first sin in the samawat was hasad, was jealousy. And the first sin on earth between the children of Adam alayhi salam will be hasad, jealousy. So here, Shaitan, he looked at the dead body. In some of the narrations, he went through the hole, through the body, making a ringing sound. And he said, this is such a weak creation. If Allah puts me under temptation, I can easily misguide. And that's what happened. And this is one of the things we should be very careful about, niyyah, about our intention. Because when you intend something, then many times that's what happens. You should be careful what you ask for. Shaitan, he intended this, and that is what ended up happening. Here, once the creation of Adam alayhi salam as a full-grown man, 60 cubits or hand or lance up into the sky, in this creation when it was ready, then before Adam alayhi salam, he had the ruh that was bred into him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wrote the prophethood of a Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Subhanallah. Look at how this relates to the seerah. I'm not just telling you the beginning of mankind, I'm relating it to the seerah. When was it written for the Prophet ﷺ to be a prophet? At the time that Adam ﷺ was between ruh and jasad. And this is the Sahih Hadith. It is reported by Imam Muslim, Imam Ahmad in his Musnad. Imam Ahmad in his Musnad is Hadith number 20,596, graded as Sahih. فقال من الصحابة متى كتبت نبيا يعني يا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. The Sahaba, they asked the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, when were you written to be a prophet? فقال والآدم بين الروح والجسد. والآدم بين روحي والجسد. When Adam alayhi salam was between the ruh and jasad, at that time, the Prophet ﷺ was ordained to be a prophet. Now, this is correct. What is incorrect is what some of the misguided sects try to derive from this, and they say that the Prophet ﷺ was alive and there, and he was a prophet at that time. This is incorrect. And the narration they try to bring is a narration, كنت نبيا وآدم بين الماء والتين. وقال شيخ الإسلام ابن تيمية هذا اللفظ كذب وباطل. كذب وباطل. Ibn Taymiyyah رحمة الله عليه clarified that the other narration where some people try to bring that the Prophet ﷺ said, I was the Nabi when Adam ﷺ was between water and teen, this is a false narration. So what we know from the Sahih Hadith is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordained the Prophet ﷺ to be a prophet before Adam ﷺ was even a prophet. That's why some of them they say الأولين يعني النبي الأولين والآخرين يعني الأول النبي هو محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وآخر الأنبياء خاتم الأنبياء النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. That the prophethood of the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم was ordained even before Adam alayhi salam, even though the Prophet was not born. He was not in existence. It was only the decision to make him a prophet was taken at that time. That's what we know from the Sahih Hadith. But to say that he was alive at that time, or he was a living prophet at that time, this is the mistake, as Ibn Taymiyyah rahmatullah alayh has clarified for us. Then, when this was done, after that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He put the ruh from Himself, from His order, into Adam alayhi salam. Now, we need to be clear. There was, as we mentioned, a time when there was none but Allah, and Allah ordered the creation, but that doesn't mean that the creation is a part of Allah. Na'udhu billah. This is the people who were misguided with kalam, with ilm al-kalam, yani the philosophy, that they think, oh, if there was nothing but Allah, and then creation came, it had to be a part of Allah. Na'udhu billah. Allah is not restricted by this. Allah ordered, and from nothing came the creation. And here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, after creating the body of Adam alayhi salam, He ordered the ruh, a soul, to be put into Adam alayhi salam, and Adam alayhi salam came to life. Now it's very important to understand something here. The jism, the body, it's made from dirt. It's made from the earth. So the bodily pleasures are always trying to seek things from the earth. But the ruh is not from the earth. And that's why the pleasure of the ruh can never be attained by worldly things. Your body, your taste buds, your tongue, it's made from the dirt. So those fruits, those foods, those things that taste good, please it. Your stomach is from the earth, so filling it, it pleases it. Your aura is from the earth, so earthly things and desires please it. But your ruh is not from the earth. So even if you have everything on the earth, even if you have all the pleasures of the earth, even if you have all the money on earth, even if you have all the buildings on earth, even if you have all of that, your ruh will not be content except with the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The ruh is from Allah, it is only happy with the dhikr of Allah. The soul is only happy when you are reading the Quran, when you're sitting in halaqat of ilm, when you're benefiting from scholars and knowledgeable brothers, when you're remembering Allah, when you're making dua, when you're making that salah, khushu'. This is when your ruh becomes happy. And as Allah ordained upon us to feed the body, it is also ordained upon us to nourish the ruh. If somebody doesn't eat, their body becomes weak, it becomes fragile, they become sick, they can die. But if you don't feed your ruh, then your iman becomes weak. Your ta'alluq with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, your connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala becomes weak. And it can be broken, it can wither, it can die. And understand the importance of the ruh. This body, the only thing that keeps it going is the ruh. When the ruh is taken out, your eyes won't work anymore, your heart won't beat anymore, your brain won't think anymore, your ears won't hear anymore. This body, without the ruh, in a few days will stink. Such a stink that nobody will want to come close to. So one of our problems is we've nourished our body, but we don't nourish our ruh. So when we nourish our ruh with the dhikr of Allah, with the reading of the Quran, with understanding the ilm, with remembering Allah, with long salawat, with dua, mukhlisan lillahi subhanahu wa ta'ala, then you will see the pleasure of the ruh is greater than the pleasure of the body. And inshallah, we'll stop here today. It's time for adhan. We'll continue from this. We will not dwell greatly into the asr al-jahiliyyah and things, but shortly, like these things, I didn't get into depth about the creation and about the samawat and the 6 days and what was created, but just what is muta'alliq, what has to do with the seerah. And this has to do with the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ. So we hope that everybody will benefit, and with istiqamah, with steadfastness, with shawq, with love, attend the duroos. Jazakumullahu khairan. We'll have the adhan now. Inshallah, if there are any questions after the adhan, I'll take it. The seerah, but alhamdulillah, as you see, Brother Abdul Rahim, may Allah reward him, he has a camera. So we will be recording, not just this dars, but inshallah the khutub and other duroos and other, when we have events, like other speakers coming. We've been talking about this for a long time, to have recordings that we can post and brothers can follow up. The audio recording, I recorded today's dars from the beginning in audio. We have part of it on video. But we will, inshallah, audio and video record, not just this dars, but all the duroos, to benefit those who are not able to. But for the brothers that are close, we don't want them to make this like an excuse, you know. Being here is always the benefit of iman and benefit that we want to get, inshallah. For that.
There is a contrast between the two things that you mentioned today. The first thing that you mentioned that everything was written 50,000 years before creation of everything. And the second thing when you mentioned that the Prophethood of Sayyidina Muhammad was written before, like between the creation of Sayyidina Adam and throwing the rock into him. So, either...
Great question. Let me explain. So, the question he asked is, that if everything was written down 50,000 years before the samawat and ard were created, then how is it that the prophethood was ordained at the time when Adam a.s. was between al-ma' wa tin? Right? So what we have to understand about qadr is that there are many levels of qadr. First level is the ilm of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always knew everything that would happen. There is never increase or decrease in ilm of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what will happen, what had happened, what can happen, is all changed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Time is not linear to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? But this is the sifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered everything that will happen to be written 50,000 years before the creation of the samawat wal ard, it doesn't mean that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't know that or ordained that before that. But this is when He ordered it to be written. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered the Quran to be revealed from Allah al-Mahfuz, where it was written, to the first sama in one night. And this is Surah Qadr. When we look at the tafsir of Surah Inna anzalnahu fi laylatil qadr. In one night, in Laylatul Qadr, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the whole Quran. Then, in a separate time, after that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not from the first sama, but from His own words, He spoke that Quran, which was already in al-Mahfuz, to Jibreel alayhi salam, and Jibreel alayhi salam, over 23 years, he brought the Quran to the Prophet sallallahu. So because it was written down 50,000 years ago, doesn't mean that it won't be revealed later. And it doesn't mean that it won't be revealed in parts later. So one thing is that everything was written down already. But then in stages, it is ordained upon us. Our qadr has already been written. But on the Laylatul Qadr, the malaika, they get orders. Again. So it is all in stages. The first stage is always with Allah. The second stage is written down. Everything. Then after that, things are ordained. Things are brought down. Ahkam are brought down. And the qadr that is with Allah, the knowledge of Allah can never change. But the orders that are coming down to malaika, destroy this town, benefit this town, this can change with dua. And there's a sahih hadith that the dua and the qadr, they rested in the sama. Right? And what that means is the qadr that is in the ilm of Allah never changes. But the qadr that is ordained to the malaika, this can change. Like the people of Yunus alayhi salam, the malaika were ordered to destroy them. But because of their tawbah and dua, that changed. That qadr was changed. But Allah knew in His knowledge, and it wasn't Lawh al-Mahfuz, that they will make tawbah and that will be changed. Okay? So, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knew that the Prophet would be a prophet always. And He had written this 50,000 years before the samawat. But it was not ordained to the malaika and in the samawat until that time. And it didn't come true until اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق was revealed to the Prophet.
The question is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was everything 50,000 years before the samawat.
Yes.
What is the hadith, or what is the dalal for this? And is there any relation that is 50,000 years, and then the day of judgment, Yawm al-Qiyamah, is 50,000 years? Is there any relation? Or?
Very good question. What is the dalal? The dalil of the hadith al-Sahih, as I mentioned from the Muslim Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, and I gave the hadith number as well. So, hadith al-Sahih, that is the dalil. The second thing is when we talk about al-yawm, or sana, or years, these are relative things. Obviously there was no sun, and there was no moon, and there was no 24 hours at that time. But this is what the Prophet ﷺ told us. And the day of judgment being 50,000 years is not the whole day of judgment either. This is one of the segments. And that is why there are ayat and ahadith that mention 1,000 years. And there are those that mention 50,000 years. So what this tells us, al-yawm al-qiyamah, laysa al-yawm. It's not one day. Al-yawm in Arabic can be used for a period of time. So there is a segment of the day of judgment that is 50,000 years. There is a segment of the day of judgment that is 1,000 years. And there are other segments of the day of judgment. How long exactly? La adri wallah. Now, in this 50,000 years, was it exactly the 24-hour day, and then, is it Hijri years or solar years, or, we don't know. What we know is what the Prophet ﷺ told us, and that Sahih Hadith is our thing. Any other questions? Faddalu Habib. What's your name? MashaAllah, you're Zaki. Go ahead. MashaAllah, very good question. The question that he asked, for the benefit of everybody else, is that is it true when the Prophet ﷺ was calling people towards Allah and telling them he's a messenger of Allah, that 100 or 50 people were throwing things at him? So we do know from the Sahih Hadith that when the Prophet ﷺ he began his tabligh, his calling towards Allah, that people gave him a hard time. We don't know if 100 or 50, but we do know the Quraysh, including Abu Lahab and others who were his own family members, they would attack him, they would throw things on him, they would physically attack him. As we know from the Sahih Hadith, which we will discuss in these durus, where the Prophet ﷺ once was making salah, and some of the kuffar, they took the intestines of the camel and threw them on the neck of the Prophet ﷺ, which was so heavy that he couldn't lift his head from sujood, and which smelled bad because the Prophet was very clean. So he went through great hardships. And inshallah we'll get into detail about who those kuffar were and what happened to them. All of this we'll discuss in these durus, inshallah. But you are right that he did have that hardship, although we cannot say 100 or 50 people. We have other numbers that we'll discuss, inshallah. He didn't attack them back. But inshallah later, afterwards in Badr and other things, got even more. He wasn't that pacifist either, man, relax. Tayyib, inshallah, you're not recording anymore, right? Tayyib. Any other questions? Dinosaurs. So, the first thing is, we do know from Islamic sciences that there were creations before Adam alayhi salam. We know that there were malaika, we know there were jinn, and there are other creation that we don't know. We don't see any clear dalil regarding dinosaurs in the Quran or in Ahadith. But we don't have anything to deny the existence of dinosaurs either. So there may have been a creation that was as we have pictured them to be. But one thing to be clear about dinosaurs, we don't really know much about dinosaurs. We're guessing as humanity. Like, the skins, we're guessing. We don't really have their skin color. We're assuming their skins were like this. We find bone formations and we assume they were like this. So how exactly were they? Were they just another animal, or were they somebody who had thought? We don't know. And if we don't have any Quran or Hadith to prove, then we go with any theory that the scholars or scientists may come up with, but without saying that this is 100% truth or 100% false. So if there was a contradiction between that and the Quran and Hadith, we would reject it, even if you find both. But we don't find it. We know there were other animals on earth for Adam alayhi salam and his offspring to eat and drink and benefit from before Adam alayhi salam. So we do know there were other creatures here. At the same time, we don't have anything in the Quran or Hadith to say that there were dinosaurs or with this name, so we also don't go 100% on its truth either. What we say is, if there are bones and if there seems to be a creation, there probably was. How exactly were they? We don't know. Any other questions? Let's